episode 62, and welcome in to the Bench is Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who went, as I expected, a 4-1 last week.
And I represent the Los Angeles Dodgers, who went 1-3 last week, I think. I don't have it in front of me. I just know it was bad. It was bad. That's all you need to know.
Well, we're also not including Wednesday's game. The Giants don't have a Wednesday game, but we are recording early because Tyler is actually going to said tomorrow's game. Actually last night's game when you guys are listening to this. And yeah.
So the Dodgers still could win tonight, Tuesday night, but they're losing 4-1 in the bottom of the seventh. So they'll probably lose.
By the end of this series, by the end of this podcast, we'll know pretty much if they won or lost.
Yeah.
So we can
let's just chalk it up to a loss. Dodgers are playing 500 baseball. They suck.
Oh, this will be it. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
It sure will.
And I'm not really sorry to rub it in because, fuck you. But at the same time, damn, how the mighty have fallen.
Oh,
the best.
They've fallen and they've fallen hard.
We've seen articles about the best baseball team ever. We've seen, just the Dodgers are going to go back to back. It's guaranteed. I think they were you had to put on at least $1,000, to make $1 or something like that in Vegas for the Dodgers to win the World Series or something like that, right?
I don't think it was quite that much. No, it was still, they were plus 375. So it was, that 375 to win 100. Maybe
it was $1,000. Maybe that was to win the division. I heard that on I don't remember if it was a podcast or radio or I don't know, but I heard it was 1,000. So maybe it was to win the division.
Yeah. The bettors odds weren't good because you weren't going to make any money. Whereas if you would have put it on the Giants to win the division, you'd be making some coin.
Yeah.
I still don't think that's going to happen.
No. Yeah.
All these people, all these experts are still saying the Dodgers are still going to win 100 games. And I don't know about that.
Ooh.
But
they would have to really turn it up like yesterday.
Yeah.
And it looks like today they're not turning it up.
Yeah.
Or as of when we're recording, it's Tuesday. So
let's just jump into it. Cody Bellinger could be back in the next week or two.
Right.
So he's been gone for 5 weeks, which is crazy because it feels like the season is, we're only 6 weeks in, but it feels like he's been out forever because he only played the opening series. So we haven't had Cody Bellinger at all. Is he the reason we're playing so bad? Not even close. But having him back will definitely help. David Price looks like he's going to be coming back relatively soon. I was listening to Doc talk earlier today. Gonsolin might be going to AAA for a couple rehab starts relatively soon. So that will definitely help. That's pretty much it. I still don't think they have anything on McKinstry. I still don't think McKinstry is even swinging a bat. So it's not good.
What do you think is there's 3 parts, I guess technically 4 parts of how a baseball team's doing, the obvious offense and defense. And then, offense, defense, pitching, and relief pitching. If you could stack it in order on what's the biggest problem, what would it be out of those 4?
Yeah, I think I would put offense first.
Biggest problem is offense. Okay.
Because we were supposed to have such a potent lineup, such a scary lineup, and they just haven't performed. But then you have, those couple outlier games where they score 16 runs and then they score 13 or 4, whatever it was against the Angels. And then they almost fucking blew it. They almost gave up the biggest, blew the biggest lead of all time. And thankfully they didn't. But if you took those 2 games out and looked at all the offensive numbers, they got to be somewhere towards the bottom third, bottom fourth
and
of
their
baseball.
Run differential is I think the best in the National League at the moment, but it's they've had a couple blowout games where it really padded it.
Yeah, right. If you took those two out, I mean, they're nowhere near the top.
Right.
But then,
which is why run differential can be kind of misleading at some, especially this
right.
early in the season.
Yeah. Then I would put relief pitching up there, number 2 for sure, just because so many guys in the bullpen are hurt. And then you have these guys that were kind of catapulted into higher leverage roles like Dennis Santana, Mitch White, Garrett Clevenger, Uceta, just guys who I was hoping we wouldn't even see this year. Like I like Mitch White, but I like Mitch White making like a spot start, or Dennis Santana making a spot start. But they're, they've been kind of catapulted into these higher roles. Defense, I would probably put next, specifically Corey Seager, not a shortstop. So let's bear that in mind. And then the starting pitching's been good. I mean, I don't think it's been elite, but it hasn't been bad by any means. I think Trevor Bauer has been outstanding. He's been exactly, what we wanted. But then he hasn't, like his last start, we lost 2-1. So he's not getting the run support. So
What do you think about his comments about, he came here to win and they're that, did you hear that whole thing?
Yeah, no, I love it. There's so many people that were like shit talking that, like, oh, he's gonna opt out of this year, which no, he's fucking not. He gets $45 million next year. There's no way he's opting out after this year. But it's just, dude, the dude's frustrated. And I think especially being a professional and, he's been in the game a long time. He's just trying to light a fire under everyone's ass because everyone feels that way. And, he said, I can't speak for everyone else. Everyone else is pissed off too. Everyone else is frustrated. I don't think those comments were, made at Dave Roberts or anything like that. It was just, I'm fucking upset because I came here to win and this team is not performing, himself included, even though he's kind of been a bright spot. It's understandable, of course. But it's not working. The lighting a fire under their asses isn't working. I don't know what it's gonna take.
Now I think we're getting into a point where it might be even supernatural. We were talking about the word curse has been thrown around, and I have a couple of curses here that I want to talk to you about. There's 3 different options on what you think the curse is if this is actually a curse. We're gonna go. Some idiot posted that something about the Dodgers might break the Mariners record. Do you know someone tweeted that?
I don't know if I'd call him an idiot. I would say he's pretty handsome and has thick hair.
I don't. Oh, fuck you. Yes, Tyler tweeted about the greatest team in all of baseball and how they're going to beat the Mariners record.
No. I posted.
He said that they were the better than the 1929 Yankees. He posted that they were better than the Monstars.
Will the Dodgers break the 2001 Mariners record? And I was a poll. I was just trying to gauge what other people were thinking. I didn't come out and say the Dodgers are going to win 117 games. Never said that.
The Dodgers were going to go 150-12. And since that tweet, the Dodgers have got 9-15. Not very good. But I think we're going to have to let you off the hook because there's 2 that are worse, and maybe we could discuss about this. The obvious is Bob Nightingale. He jinxes everybody. So after he tweeted that the Dodgers were on pace to go something stupid, it was right after they were 5-2. I forgot what the pace was. Would that be like winning 140 games or something like that?
Yeah, he said something stupid.
Yeah. And then since then, the Dodgers went 5-15. And then my wife brought something to my attention. We were discussing, and she was saying that she thinks the curse might be Farmer John. Ever since the Dodgers announced that they brought into light that they dropped Farmer John for making their Dodger dogs, the Dodgers went 3-10. So I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely Bob Nightingale.
You think so?
We have to believe one. And the other thing about Dodger dogs is, I'll go on the record saying this, they're not that great. It's just a normal fucking hot dog. Like when I was a kid, maybe they were different.
Damn.
But I will say the super dog, I don't know if they even, because when I go to games, I don't even want to get a hot dog anymore.
Yeah,
so I don't even know if they have it, but the super dog was like the all beef Dodger dog.
Right.
That was great.
Right. Yeah, that one's good.
But just a normal, the only time I enjoyed the normal Dodger dogs were
When
all
you
you
eat
can
in one
eat
bite.
pavilion,
Mm-hmm.
or because I could get fucking 4 of them and not have to spend $25, or when they did like dollar Dodger dog nights, or they used to always do it for afternoon games. Although when I went and saw the Cincinnati Reds play the Dodgers a couple weeks ago, they did like the Skyline chili, which is like a famous thing in Cincinnati, and they did one of those hot dogs. I got one of those. It was pretty good. But yeah, Farmer John, not the curse. Bob Nightingale's the curse. I'm hoping Bob Nightingale tweets tonight, Cody Bellinger out for the rest of the season, because that means he's coming back tomorrow.
Coming back. Yeah, exactly.
So,
I'm
fingers crossed.
I think we're just a very pro fuck Bob and Nightingale podcast, because I'm still butthurt about the things he said about Alex Dickerson. So yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone likes him. Yeah, I don't think anyone likes him particularly, but yeah.
I don't think anyone respects him as a journalist.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna go there.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, look,
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad either. Dude, if I were a Mets fan, I'd still be livid about the whole Trevor Bauer shit.
Right.
Like, as much as they want to be like, no, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Like, it fucking hurt.
Right. Yeah, I completely get it. Yeah, well, I mean, we should maybe talk about some actual games, and I think we could take a break from talking about the underachieving Dodgers for a second, and talk about, I don't know, maybe the best team in baseball, tied for the best record in baseball, the team that's sitting on top of the NL West and that just beat the Padres in a series, San Francisco Giants. Life is good at the top. It's people say it's lonely at the top. I don't see it. It's
nice
pretty great
looking down at the lowly peasants of the
NL
West.
And I think this week was particularly because we just came off of a week that was pretty bad, underachieving in San Diego. I mean, it was a loss of a series, but it wasn't like it wasn't disheartening. But the Rockies series is pretty disheartening to lose a series to the Rockies at this point, even at Coors Field, really sucks. But to come back and beat the Padres, take a series. Yes, the last game kind of sucked because it was a blowout, but you got to see Darren Ruff, pitch, and that was pretty tight. But Kevin Gausman is just a madman. Disco shoved. Yeah, man, it's just the starting staff has not shown signs of slowing down, which is the biggest question of is the starting staff going to keep up? I know the offense isn't really running on all cylinders at the moment, but I mean, the starting pitching is keeping them in all the games. And if the bullpen can just hold on just a little bit, I think we're going to be good. And I think the most important part, I mean, obviously the little mini sweep of the Rangers was a nice little cherry on top, but I think the biggest story of this week has to be the emergence of Stash Slater and Stash Yaz. I mean, I don't know what's in the mustaches, but it's great. Since then, Slater's has had 2 home runs since the Stash just came in. Yastrzemski is hitting like 300 since the Stash came in. He's starting to look like himself again, especially after today's day. I mean, there's no slowing these guys. I mean, I might have to just buy a Stash like in Hot Rod and put one on so it's a little bit more distinct, so you could tell that I'm participating in Mustache May.
Right. So you just don't look like a 14-year-old.
Like, I got it, but it's not like a full man mustache.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, I always say that. I use that. I don't have a man mustache.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's
I'm about to be 30 years old and I still don't have a man mustache.
It's not like, the Mexican kid in Little League that has like the little bit of the, that wasn't me. I was the babyface Mexican. There was always, whatever, but like it's there. It's just not, like fucking a caterpillar on my face. I'm never going to be a cop.
Amen to that.
Right. Like, so yeah, I mean, there's not, I mean, going, they're doing very well at Oracle. The road numbers are a little concerning, but I think going into this next week, there's a lot that that can happen and will really show out. But they are playing some shitty teams, so they really need to be over 500 on this road trip. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just gonna roll into stud and dud of the week, and that has to be. I'm gonna go dud at first and talk about the same person because Kirk Casale, the fuck, bro. Like, you had no hits last week, and now you have one hit this week. Like, what are we going to do here? Like, I understand dude catches, like we said last week, he catches a great game, calls a great game. He handles the staff really well, especially like today, Logan Webb. He really, speaking of, Logan Webb was amazing, 6 innings and 10 Ks. Guy's a madman. But at what point do you really need at least a little bit of offense from that backup catching position? Because it's not just a regular backup catching position. Like, they're giving Posey a lot of rest. I get why, but I don't know how much longer Casale is going to be on the staff, especially if they stay in the hunt for that top wild card spot or stay in first, obviously.
Joey Bart, baby.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has a 2. That's what I'm saying. Joey Bart season dude hit a home run again yesterday in AAA, a moon bomb. I don't know. I'm just saying, dude's hitting. It's a 282 OPS. Kirk Casale. Like, we need like a little something. Like, that's so bad. He's not even drawing a lot of walks either. He's just
pretty bad.
That's historically bad. Like, so I get it. He's defensive first, and I think last year we really saw how important the defense is in the catching position, how it can really affect a pitching staff. But gosh, we need a little more than that. I can't handle it. And of course, stud, it's the guy that I could talk to you about for an hour. I'm not going to, because I've been talking about him all season, about his dig dropping tour, and that's of course Buster Posey. He's hitting 500, hit a couple of bombs last week, and a 1.5 OPS. I mean, not to mention his just framing and his just elite defensive catch. Like, I don't know what else we have to do. Like, I'm done talking about him being a top 10 catcher. He's back to a top 5 easily. And
I was gonna say, I think everyone's accepted that they were wrong.
Thank you.
I've accepted that I was wrong.
Okay. Well, now I've gotten to the point where I'm done proving it. Now I just want to rub people's faces in it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. I mean, right now I think he's more valuable than JT Realmuto.
I like that you're saying that you're proving it. He's the one out on the field doing all the work.
But it's because of me.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, I'm sure Buster Posey was listening, was like, you know what? I was planning on having another, borderline season, but this guy's inspiring me. And then
I don't want to be the dud of the season come season.
Yeah, I can't.
I better get my shit together.
And then he just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have, I don't know, maybe one of the best seasons of my career. I mean, I don't think he's gonna hit as many home runs, like stay on this pace. It's kind of a little bit irrational to think of him, but I mean, he's even surpassing what I said. I was like, he's not going to hit over 20 home runs, but if it's like 10 to 15, we're good just as long as his average is up there. You know what I mean? But dude's hitting 385 on the year, 461 on base percentage, and OPS of 1.1 for the entire fucking year. I mean, he's hitting over 20 home runs for sure. I mean, close to 20. I mean, 20, 21, 22, whatever. But, and I know you're upset because Dodgers are losing. It's probably going to happen.
No, Mookie Betts just struck out looking on a full count with the bases loaded on a ball that was about 6 inches inside off the plate. Oh yeah, you're a second behind. You'll get to see it right here. Also, his first.
And we're going to take you guys. We're going to take you guys inside the game, and here it is. Oh, so you're mad at the umpires? Oh, that's a bullshit call. That's terrible. Yeah, the umpiring has been especially bad. We've been talking about it. I mean, I think it's the perfect time for that to happen because I'm done talking about the best team in baseball. I mean, we could talk forever. That's fine. We can now go to the second best team of this podcast. Back to you, and we can talk about your week. But that shit, I don't know. I don't know what to do about this.
Yeah. So this week we only had, up until recording, the Angels series, and the Dodgers didn't show up. I feel like before every series now, so we've lost 5 series in a row, which, has been well reported that that's the worst we've done since, I think, August, somewhere between August and September of 2017. But I mean, we still made it to the World Series and we're within 1 game of winning. So that shouldn't bother people, I guess. But they're just not showing up. Before every single series, in my head, I'm like, okay, is this where they turn it around? And the answer is no, because they've yet to turn it around. Is it going to be the 2-game little stint with the Mariners? Maybe, hopefully. I hope to fucking God it is, because they're just overall bad.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to do a stud and dud of the week, it's duds for everyone, because it's like when you're playing high school sports and someone's like late to practice and you all have to run and they pull that, well, you win as a team, you lose as a team. You all get duds as a team. Okay. I don't care who's been playing well. You're all duds, in my opinion. You're all fucking losers. Dude, they're just
okay.
They're just not showing up. And again, we've talked about injuries not being an excuse. And I talked about it last week that, yes, that's true, but the Dodgers' depth is like truly being pressed. It's really being tested. But you got to figure it out. You have to figure out a way to win. And with these guys, these younger guys in higher leverage situations, they have to figure it out.
Right.
That's all it boils down to.
And especially because it's not like they're not playing first place teams right now. I mean, they're losing series to the Angels. They're losing series to the
Although
Reds.
I do think the Angels are a good team, and the Brewers are a good team as well.
Right, and the Padres are a good team too, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. But I guess it's a little bit different because the Dodgers are supposed to be the top dog. So and they're also not playing the fucking Pirates and the Rockies. So
right. Well, I mean, we're playing the Mariners right now. The Mariners got no hit last week, and then they almost got no hit again sometime this season. They were like getting no hit through 6. So I was really hoping, okay, tonight's the night they figure it out, but then Mitch Haniger hits 2 home runs and they don't score any runs until the 7th inning. I mean, they scored earlier, they scored a run, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what has to happen. I don't know if it's a managerial thing where Dave Roberts really needs to get on them, and maybe, I think Dave Roberts is a great manager as far as his relationship with players. I think he's probably second to none.
Mm-hmm.
But
really?
I think so. But I think that relationship he has with players may hinder him being tough on them and him riding them, because that might be what they need right now, because whatever they're doing isn't fucking working. So you have to switch it up a little bit at least. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully tonight, Tuesday night, is the springboard into not sucking, but I have my doubts.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't even know what to feel at this time. I don't know what to say or what to go into. I mean, I am just enjoying this collapse of Dodgers Twitter and all my friends and family that are Dodger fans. It's funny to see them where I was for years. And the funny thing is, I mean, honestly, in 2018, people were saying that the Dodgers season was over because they had a really bad start, and they ended up going to the World Series. So at some point, it's kind of also like it's enjoyable, but at another point, it's like, can you guys shut the fuck up already? Like there's like Dodger fans get on Giants fans for being, quote unquote bandwagon since 2010. But I'm seeing on Twitter, people are threatening to stop watching games because the team is playing so bad for 1 month of a season that they're technically the best team, best roster in baseball. So
still not even below 500
miss me.
either. Do you
Yeah,
know how
so-
many? Do you know how many seasons as a kid the Dodgers were like way below 500 in mid-May? A lot. So, but then again, there were those expectations, and I think that's what's really getting to everyone. But with my thing is with all the injuries, if the Dodgers can play 500 baseball, that would be great. But they're playing far below that,
right,
since all the injuries. So now, if you start averaging 500, you're a legit 500 baseball team, which
right.
kind of sucks. But I don't know. Hopefully, they figure something out. We'll fucking find out.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, what inning is it now? It's just the end of the 7th.
Yeah.
I mean, we're probably not gonna know by the end of this podcast on exactly who wins, unless they really run through this shit. So it can all change before this episode even airs. You know what I'm saying? They sweep they pull the mini sweep of the Mariners, and then go off and decide to drop dick on whoever they're playing next. It could turn around in a day. So
Yeah.
I don't even I'm like I said, I'm enjoying the collapse, but at the same time, it's like sometimes it's like, dude, guys,
there's still over 120 games left to be played.
Clean yourself off, like quit, get out of the corner. You're gonna be fine. Calm it down. Start talking to me when it becomes June and July and you're under 500 or you're at 500.
Yeah.
Then maybe worry a little bit.
I think other people forget that it was 2013 or 14 when the Dodgers were just terrible and then went 42-8 after the All-Star break. I mean, you need to be competitive all year, but there's so much time. And the other thing too is, dude, last year was such a sprint. The Dodgers have already lost as many games as they had all last year, all last season.
Right.
And so I think, people forget, myself included sometimes, that like things are back to normal now. So it's a marathon. It's no longer a sprint. So, we'll see what happens.
Calm it down. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, not everyone can have the tied for the third most home runs in baseball. The San Francisco Giants with 47 bombers. Like, that's not what in everyone's wheelhouse. Second in the National League. It's not a big deal. But
you're right. It's not because it's May 11th. Yeah, shut you up.
Okay, but it's still. Listen, we've been literally close to the bottom every single year for like as long as I can remember. Even the good Giants teams were never up there in home runs, not since probably like the Barry Bonds, Jeff Kent days. So like, let me have this one, okay? Pump the brakes a little bit for me.
In my house, we call those days the cheater and racist days.
Racist and the cheater. Da. That's a good sitcom.
That
isn't really cheating if everyone else is doing it. I'm just saying. Anyways, we do have a fuck you of the week, and we're gonna get into that right now. Fuck you of the week is going to MLB The Show. I don't understand.
Dog, you don't talk shit about my game. That's my game.
It's going to MLB The Show. Fuck that game, and you can quote me on that. Brought to you by Farhan. And let me tell you why. Listen, I don't want to. I know we talk a lot of shit about the Padres on this podcast. We are a pro shit talking Padres pod. And am that way now, and probably forever will be that way. But I think that we recognize that Fernando Tatis is a great player. He could be a generational player. He could be the face of baseball in the next year or two. It's looking like he's going that route right now. But are we really going to sit here and say that he should be the face of unapologetic, celebrating on the field? Yes, he celebrates on the field. And yes, he, breaks unwritten rules. And he's apparently, I've been breaking unwritten rules. Yeah, you've been apologizing for him too. So like why is he the face? Yeah, like why are you the guy who's the face of the unapologetic generation when you apologize for breaking an unwritten rule of baseball? I don't understand that.
I don't
You know
either.
who's been showing emotion and is a great young player that could be the face of baseball? Ronald Acuna Jr. That guy does whatever he wants, or Juan Soto. Even, and I'm going to go somewhere I never thought that I was going to go, but Bryce Harper. I would take him over Fernando Tatis in this instance because he's been showing emotion, has never apologized for it either. So if that's the route you're going to go, unapologetic celebrating, I would go Acuna's top of my list.
Yeah.
Soto has to be number 2. And then I would even
Dude,
I would maybe even do the Harps. Maybe Tim Anderson, actually. Tim Anderson's it goes overboard, and I love it.
Bryce Harper was on the cover, excuse me, 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's already got the cover. Yeah,
but right. I mean, I feel like they really missed an opportunity. You remember like those, like they used to be baseball cards. They would be like the holographic ones where you moved it and it showed like 2 different scenes. Dude, they could have made the show cover like him with the helmet and then him missing with the helmet on Hunter Strickland. That would have been sick. San Diego Studios, if you need someone in the marketing campaign, I'm your guy. Yeah. I also kind of have
fuck yourself, San Diego.
Mm-hmm. The Yankees and MLB in general.
Why not? So always down for that.
The Yankees third base coach tested positive for COVID today, and apparently the Yankees had a locker room meeting and decided it was important to play. How does MLB let that happen?
Yeah,
because what about the Rays? They don't have a say. They don't have a say in it. If they're going to be standing next to guys that potentially have COVID, especially because Fernando Tatis Jr. just tested positive today and he's on the IL. Really? Yeah. So it's not like, I mean, it's definitely not as bad as last year. You know, it was kind of running rampant. I mean, guys have been vaccinated, but not everyone. Right. So I don't see why they can't step in and just be like, hey, let's give it a day. Let us do contact tracing. Right. It just seemed weird. Like we
nip
decided
the shit in the bud.
Yeah, Garrett Cole was like, we decided we had a locker room meeting and we decided it was more important to play. I was like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. I mean, unless you could do another rapid test to make sure everyone's good and then you can get whoever has COVID away.
Which I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did rapid tests, but dude, we've been doing this for a fucking year. We all know rapid tests aren't as effective. They don't detect as well. Accurate. There's a lot of false positives. But also, if he just tested positive today and he infected you yesterday, you might not show up on a test anyhow. So in the interest of, not demolishing the season, I think that was a bad move. Hopefully everything's fine. Really hopefully no one tests positive.
Exactly. And this shouldn't be the focus because no matter what, even if it was a team they weren't going to play ever again, that's more important to not spread a fucking virus that we're in a pandemic for. But they're also playing the Tampa Bay Rays, a team that they're going to play 19 more times. I mean, not more times, but a total of 19 times. I'm not sure how many times they played them so far. You can make those games up.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
You can do a couple of that makes like 3 or 4 more
opportunities just to add one more game to a day. Especially now, that we're only doing 7-game doubleheaders. It's not that fucking hard.
7 inning doubleheaders, but yes.
That's what I just said.
You said 7-game doubleheaders.
7-game doubleheaders. You heard it here first.
7 games in 2 days. Let's go.
Yeah. So that's all I gotta say about that.
That's all I gotta say about that. That's crazy because that's literally the first I've ever heard of it. So,
dude, I just got my ear to the ground, dog. Dear Dodgers, please win. Please don't dip below 500. That's all from a little boy named Tyler Coe, who is very fond of your baseball team. Please don't fuck it up. I'm trying anything now. I'll try anything that might work. So who knows?
I feel like this is like the setup to you just starting to take your clothes off. Like, it's gonna be okay, Tyler. Like, chill. Everything's gonna be fine. Like, I'll
Well, if
do anything. I'll do anything.
I'll suck your dick, man.
You got these cheeseburgers,
I got
man.
these cheeseburgers. For the Dodgers, we have the Mariners game that is currently on Tuesday evening. Then we have the Mariners again on Wednesday, off day Thursday. Then a 3-game series with the Marlins. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen? I would like to say the Dodgers are going to play well, but we just don't know. And then we have a 4-game series with the Diamondbacks, which leads us, I believe, into the first series with the Giants.
Correctamundo.
Up at Oracle Park. So we'll talk about more next week when we're
that's a little week outlook, but yes, that's a perfect.
When you're sad, you just don't really know what to say. Right. So my prediction this week is the Dodgers go out and play baseball. I can't give you a prediction on wins and losses because I don't know. But I know they will go out and they will play.
You never know, bitch. Just freaking tell me what are you expecting them to do? If
I'm expecting them to lose tonight. Okay. Because they're down 1 run, which that might as well be 10 for this team right now. Or even if they get 3 runs, the bullpen's gonna fucking blow it. So we'll scrap tonight. That's a loss. Hopefully come in tomorrow for a win. That's 1-1. Hopefully you can win the series against the Marlins. So what? Now we're 3-2. Big shit. And then hopefully we can take 3 or 4 from the Diamondbacks.
Ooh, you're getting that's shooting for the stars there for you right now. But hey,
I know.
Shoot for the stars,
what,
kid.
I would be, as of right now, I would be content if we went 1 game above 500 in these 3 series.
Right. Okay.
And the Giants and Padres lose every single game.
That's not going to happen because the Giants are going to be playing the Pirates and then the Cincinnati Reds. Technically, they are both 4-game series, but the last game of the 4-game series of the Reds will technically be the next week. So for those 2 4-game series, I'm hoping they take 3 out of 4 from the Pirates, and then it would be I'm going to predict a split of the Reds. So we're going to go 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 5-3 on that 8-game. Technically that would be previewing too much into next week, but I want to do the series together. So I'm going to go 5-3 on this homestand. This road trip. I'm just really excited. This starting pitch is just so fucking good. And one thing I did not mention that I really want to put out there is low-key talked a little bit of shit about Alex Wood. You were saying that you were sad to see him go, and then you talked a little shit about him because he was on the IL. I fucking love me some Alex Wood. I love how fired up he gets. Dude got kicked out. Got tossed. Shit, what was it? In the Rocky series when he wasn't even pitching because people were getting upset in the dugout. So he decided to get louder than everyone. So he would get kicked out and nobody else that was playing in the game. So big ups to him. I love how fired up he gets when, he gets out of a jam or he just gets a shutdown inning. The shit just fucking fires me up. So love me some Alex Wood. Excited to watch him pitch again. Kevin Gausman's going to be against the Pirates too. So, gosh, dude.
I predict the Giants are going to implode on the road 2-6.
Implode on the road. Just because it rhymes, you think it's going to be true? Just because it's all of a sudden you're a rhymicizer?
A rhyme. Then you're
that what you are?
Criticizer. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. You got to freaking rhyme with me again. All right. Well, Dodgers are going to lose today. They're just freaking flying out in the 8th inning. Fuck them.
Oh, I know the Dodgers are going to lose. I've accepted it already. There's still 5 outs left, and I know they're going to lose unless Max Muncy hits a dinger right here to tie it up, which he might.
Happen.
But you're going to have to find out next week because that's it for tonight. And always, this episode was brought to you by Renovation Candle Company, where summer candles are out now.
That's facts too. Whole bunch of facts
your sorrows because you're not happy. You're sad because the Dodgers are terrible. Mm-hmm. So at least bring a little brightness into your life with a candle.
Mhm. And if you're a Giants fan, you're going to Reservation Candle Company, you're in a happy mood and you're nothing but happy and jolly. So continue those good vibes by making your house smell like a dream. And thank you
No,
guys for
no,
listening.
no Giants fans. We don't need your money.
You're such a liar. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure to hit that notification button. Hit a like. Help us grow, right? Write us a review and review us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us if you're on your favorite podcasting platform. Follow us on Twitter, Benches Cleared P, on Instagram, Benches Cleared Podcast, and on TikTok at Benches Cleared. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next week, son.